folks, this is Rose from In Rose's Garden, and today we're going to work on a necklace using my Jessie James Bead Strand Rhodonite. It's very pretty, and we also have some really cool chain and this really neat pendant piece. So I've been working on a design for this for some time, and any of you who design know we'll change it as we go along. It always seems to work that way. Because, there's stuff that, you get started and you're going, nah, it doesn't really quite work for me, so let's try this instead. So we're going to turn down and we're going to work on this necklace. I do have the base part of it already set out the way I want it to go. Anyway, I'm pretty sure it's the way I want it to go. And we'll see how we want to go from there. But let's get turned down and we'll start working on it. Okay, this is what I have set out so far. We're going to put the pendant onto the bail with the jump ring, and then we're going to bring this in and put it on here. So this is the big thing, and it's going to tell us how much of the chain we're going to end up using, because I want this in between. The chain will come down here, but we got to make sure that this doesn't clip into the other side when we when it pulls up. So the first thing we're going to do is put the pendant part together here. So we're going to use this crystal, and then one of the potato chip type spacers, and then this blue bead. Now this strand normally has 2 of these blue beads, but I'd cut it open to play with it some last night and accidentally dropped the tray of beads all over the floor, and I lost one of these spacers and one of these beads. I did manage to find everything else, but not those 2. But anyway, so we're going to make this into a dangle, and so we'll just put it here, put our pliers in, pull it over 90 degrees, get our small bell, our bell making step pliers, and go with the smallest one, wrap it around, drop, bring all the way around, make sure it looks like a lollipop. Then we're going to slide that onto the pendant piece before we finish. There, it slid on. Now we'll hold it with our pliers right here where the bend is at. And wrap. Now you can wrap with your fingers or with your pliers, whichever you prefer. If the wire is a lot stiffer than this, I will use my pliers as opposed to my fingers to wrap, but if it's a thin wire, I don't mind using my fingers to do it. So then let's trim this tail off. Now we're really close here where I'm trimming, so we want to be careful not to trim anything extra, like the loop or the loop on your pendant piece or anything like that. Now that we've got that off, let's tuck this in here, and we have this piece put together as far as the beads are concerned. And now we just need to hook that to the with our jump ring to our bail. So taking 2 pieces of pliers, 2 pair of pliers, just do a sideways twist like so. Put this on here. Now this pendant's piece will move, which is a good thing, because otherwise I'd have to use 2 jump rings to hook this up. So there we are, and the bell is in place. So, and there's how it's going to look there. Oop, come on, lay down. And so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to get out some beading wire, and we're going to just at least bead this side here, and then we're going to decide how much chain we need to put on either side, and how much more wire we're going to need to go up the ends. So I'm using, this is an older spool of Softflex Gold and Heavy. So it's a really pretty color, as you can see. But as I said, this is their older stuff. It's still really nice. I really like it. Come on, baby, go back your spool back on. So what I'm going to just do is I'm going to just string from right here. And I am going to use, I got some of my own little bead caps out. I think they're really pretty and I love a good bead cap. So we're going to, and I am using some crystal that was not in the bead strand, but I wanted to flesh the bead strand out. I went and was looking at some of my other Jesse James strands, but decided that I actually would just decided just crystal would look really good on it. So that's what we're going to do. Now, if going all the way down to the spool bugs you, which it does bug me quite a bit, one of the things you can do to mitigate that is to put a bead stopper on the end here. And that'll keep it from going all the way down into your spool like that. So. Where's your side? There it is. Now, the boho beads are hollow, so you have to be careful going on with them. And we will put our pendant on right here. Come on, baby. Lay down like a good baby. And there we have half, and now we have to string the other half and decide how much of the beautiful chain we need. There we go. And there we have this much of it done. So we'll put our bead stopper on this side. And like I say, the next step we want to do is to decide how much of the chain we need, as this would go up like this, and then our chain is going to, ooh, more than I thought. We may want to put our chain down in further than the original plan, because I do want it to go around here, but I don't want to use all my chain because I was thinking I might want to use some of it for a bracelet. Though frankly, maybe we will use it all because I think I like that. It makes a nice double strand to go all the way up there. However, you'll notice the end here, because the middle ones are not here anymore, it needs something to spread this out to keep it shaped like this. So I'm probably going to take off this ring thing here and put a bead in between these two wires. So let's Actually, I may put the pearl in there. Have to think about that. So the first thing we want to do is get this piece off, and I'm not sure if that's welded or not. I can't really tell, so we will just take hold of it with pliers and find out. Looks like it's not, so we can just take it right off, which is always good. Put it aside. And then when we put this on, we're going to put one side on, bring in a bead, and put the other side on. Like so. This in and see how it looks. Now see, that doesn't spread the wires nearly as much. I mean, the chain links, and I think it looks much better, even though, like I say, it's got puts the crystal right beside the other crystal. And actually, maybe we'll make this be 3 crystals in a row. Let's see how this looks if I put another crystal right here. I think I'm going to like that, but I think I want a bigger one so it matches this one. So let's get one of those out. Got some of these out, and we'll put this on and see how it looks that way. Yeah, that's pretty, isn't it? Okay, now we'll continue on with what I had originally planned to do, and that is we're going to put that pearl that I was debating right here. Okay, now this is as far as my plan had got to, unfortunately, because I haven't decided. I'm going to put some chain at the back of this necklace, but I have to make sure that it's long enough before I do so. And I'm trying to debate what else I want to put up on the other side up there. Whether I want to use this pretty emblem here, some more spacers, so, and how long I want to make it, because I need to cut the wire so we can do the other side as well. So let's give it some thought here, and we will decide on that. Now, my original plan that I had done up had me having some spacer beads up here and then a couple more crystals, and then going on to some other chain to go around the back. So I'm still debating on that. I think that we will need to put this chain here, hook it in, do the rest of this pattern over on this side. And then maybe I will put some spacers in here. Could put this really pretty spacer in here, but I'm not sure. I'm going to give it a little thought and we'll get back to it. Okay, I found some spacers here. And I had originally thought of going further up than this, but I think we're going to try. Let's move this down so we got some space up here. To see what it looks like with, oh, come on, you. Just 3 of these style. And if I decide it needs more, we will get some more out. But let's put these 3 in. I like these 3, but I'm wondering if I want to put them in a slightly different spot. For instance, maybe we want to pull this whole section right here off. Put the 3 here. Like so. And then put this piece in here. Oh yeah, I like that better. Maybe we'll then put 3 more of these in, and then 1 crystal, and then, or 2, and then go up to chain. So let's see how that looks. Then let's see. I think we're just going to go with this one. Yes. Yes, I like that. It's a pity I don't have more of the pearls, though. I would have put it on the other side here to bring that section sorted together to make it more consistent. But I do like that. So that's what we're going to do. So we need to cut the wire so that we have that length. So let's bring this over here. And let's just sort of bring this together so we know how much wire we're going to need here. And cut about right here. And then we can put our wire aside. Now what we're going to need to do then, of course, is mirror this other side over here. Bring this chain around and bring our beads out. And I will need to get a few more beads because I put these up here. So I'm going to go get those beads out and then we'll string the other side up. Okay, while getting the other pieces out I needed, I also looked at my glass pearls and discovered I had a couple of, they're not quite the same color, but they might be close enough. So I'm going to switch this crystal and see if I like it as the pearl instead. And if I, you know what, let's just string up the other side. And if we want, we'll string the other side with the pearl and see how that works. So the first thing we need to do, of course, is get our chain here. And even though this one is not quite the same, we are going to do it the same. And it's going to look more squared off on that side, this side, but I think that'll be all right. So we'll put in one side of the chain, making sure that we have it even as we go around. Then put in the crystal, the smaller of the ones. And the other side of the chain. And then we'll pull it down. And as you can see, it looks a little different on this side because of the way this chain works, but I think it's going to work. We'll look at it a little closer when we're done here. So then we want to mirror the other side. Actually, if you look at this, I think we may even have more chain than we need, which means we will need to switch it out because we don't want to have a lot of chain. We want this to come up so that it is relatively close but not hitting. So let's see how this hangs. Well, let's keep going, then we'll put it on we'll hook it up to a bust before we're done to see if I want to pull it apart and take some of the chain off. Now this is where we would be putting our pearl in. Actually, I don't. Now let's see which side we like better, this side or this side, as far as the ending is concerned. Now this looks really nice, but I do think I like the crystal better because they don't quite match, and I would prefer it if they matched. They do match this bead pretty good though. See? Well, they are more, well, they do, but yeah, I think we're going to give it back the crystal. So let's take out the pearl. We'll put it aside again and put the crystal in. Now, this is the place where I would add in the other chain if I didn't want to make sure that this is going to hang all right. Because, as you can see, if it's hanging straight down, it's already clunking into here. But if you pull it this way, it gets wider, and you don't need these. And then it brings it, it lets it fall down further and further. So it depends on how it's going to hang, how far this is going to hang. So, okay, I have pulled the camera out of the tripod so you can see how it looks on my mannequin. This is my Bonnie mannequin. She helps me decide where I want things to be. And as you can see, I've got the beads way up at the neckline, and I'm going to put some chain around to finish it. And this is where I want it to hang. And I think I like the way the chain is hanging here, though I am debating whether I want to take this section here and just bring those together and have the crystal on one or the other side, as opposed to being open like that. But at the same time, if I do that, I'm wondering if it's going to make it be slightly uneven. So I think we'll leave it as is. And we'll take this back off the mannequin. Well, actually, first we're going to turn her around and decide how much chain we're going to need. As you can see, nothing here on the back. So I'm going to measure this from neck to neck so I can see how much chain I need to finish this off, and I'll be right back. Okay, when I measured, it was about 7.5 inches. So we're probably going to get, going to use this chain here across the back. We want something that is not going to be, we want something that's not too delicate, because we don't want to have it overpowered by the chain at the front. So this one is a Rolo chain. It's not really delicate, but it's not really, really heavy. I do have some heavier of this, and I may get that out and see if I prefer it. But we need about, I measured 7.5 inches. But once we put the toggle clasp, because that is the kind I'm going to use, because this is going to be relatively heavy, so a toggle will hold great with this necklace. And we are going to have that weight there. So because we are going to have a toggle, which adds about 1 inch, we only need probably about 3 inches of chain on either side to put the toggle on with. So I'm going to go get the other chain, and we'll decide if I prefer this chain or the other chain, and then we'll go from there. Okay, I have got a toggle clasp. I think this is a real pretty one. It will look really nicely with the other color, the other brasses. And in checking my other Rolo chain, I discovered that the other chain was copper as opposed to brass. So we're going to go with this, and we'll need 3 inches of this on either side of our necklace. So we will get out, we will cut 2 3-inch pieces. Okay, there's one. The second we can just compare to the first or count the links if you'd rather do that, or you can measure it like I did the first one. Okay, I think it's this link right here. So we'll cut that link. Work it off. And then we'll put the rest of this chain away back into its package. And now we can hook these two pieces of chain, one side of course onto the its respective piece of the toggle clasp, and the other side we will hook directly to the Softflex wire. Now I have noticed that we have a bead cap missing here, so I'm going to get that fixed quickly before we go on. There we go. And because I did miss one, I'm going to go down them quickly and make sure we didn't miss any others, because it's really easy to miss a bead cap or another bead if you're not careful. So let's go ahead and compare and go down the line, make sure we didn't miss any others. And I think we're looking good. So now we need to get out a couple of crimp beads, crimp tubes. I use 2x2 crimp tubes because I use the Magical Crimpers. So the first thing we want to do, of course, is to crimp the one side to the chain. And just put this through the link of the chain and through the wire. Bring up your crimp tube. Pull it around. Come on, baby. Make sure your wires aren't crossed. I think these are right now. Yes, they are. I can see that they are. So bring up your tube as far as you want it to be at, up here on your, and then get your crimpers out and crimp. Now, Magical Crimpers have a little divot in it. You want the tube to go right in the center here, and then you squish it down, turn it, and squish it again until you've got this little ball formed here, and then do a tug test. That's good. Got the one side on. Now I have rolled the wire up to take out the slack of where I had that, and now we're going to put the other one on. So again, you just put your crimp tube on, put your chain in, slide it. This time you want to slide it all the way down to your beads and see if you can get it to go through the first few. And then pull her up tight. Not too tight, because you want to have some movement here. Now you'll notice as I'm doing this, my necklace is all wound up rather than straight, and that is to keep the room in here that you'll need so that your necklace isn't really stiff. Check to make sure they're about the same. And then crimp this tube. And roll and continue to crimp until you have no more crimping going on, and then do your tug test. Now this is heavy wire, so it actually generally holds really good. Now cut off our extra wire, making sure you don't get the wire that's hanging your things up. And then we can put that little bit of extra away. Now we have our 2 on here, and we just need to get some jump rings to hang on our toggle. So I'm going to get those right here. We'll dump a couple of them out, and we will put our toggle on. So we just get our pliers, get our jump ring, grab on both sides, give a twist, go into this top link of your chain, and then into your toggle. Now, because we used chain up here at the top, we don't have to worry about the toggle needing extra space to get in. If you had used beads all the way to the top, you would have to make sure your top beads were smaller so that your toggle could slip in and out properly. Because the toggle bar, if it's really tight, can't go through, it won't, you need to go through some of the chain just a little bit to get the toggle to fit right. There we go. And now we are done with our necklace. So you just, as you can see, the toggle goes right through here, but as you also see, the chain comes in to hook it in. So now we're finished with our necklace, and I think it turned out really pretty. Hope you like it too. And so there we go. There she is, all done. Pretty stunning. I like the way it turned out. When we're sitting like this, this doesn't look right, but when it's hanging on Bonnie, it looked fine. So I think we're good there. So there she is, all finished. So let's turn up and we will look at it a little better, and maybe I'll even put it back on Bonnie and pull the camera out so you can see it again. Okay, so here's our necklace. What she looks like, all finished. Isn't that pretty? Let's take the camera off of the tripod again for a few moments, and we will put her back on Bonnie so you can see what it looks like entirely finished and hanging. So here we go. She's all finished hanging on Bonnie, and I think it looks rather intriguing and interesting. Isn't that fun? I hope you liked this. I thought it was rather fun and interesting, and I personally like it. I think it turned out quite nicely. So here we go. Bonnie's still wearing our necklace here. I think it turned out really nicely. The beads from this are some crystal beads from my own stash, and then the Pantone Strand Rhodonite from JJB Beads. The chain is the antique brass intertwined Chevron chain, and then we have the modern art mixed media pendant. Isn't that fun and so pretty? The only thing I'm not really liking is this right here, where this chain comes onto here, and I'm seriously debating taking this one piece of the link out, but we'll see. I had a lot of fun making this necklace. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. This has been Rose from In Rose's Garden. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.